The reason why Rimuru Tempest, considered to be boundless Tier 0 level entity. Rimuru becomes a non-physical, conceptual entity when Rimuru evolves into a true dragon-class deity. His body is no longer tied to physical matter. His soul becomes pure information, and he resides in imaginary space, a place deeper than nothingness, which cannot be interacted with through time, space, or matter. Imaginary space is a realm that exists beyond all spatial and temporal dimensions. Even other ultimate skill users can't interfere there. Rimuru can exist and act while his body and soul are non-existent. Conclusion: he's no longer part of any spatial or temporal framework. Rimuru is unaffected by cause and effect, time loops, fate rewrites, or plots manipulation, or destiny-based manipulation. He controls time, sees possible futures, and rewrites them. His skills like turn, null, and future, attack prediction, break causality itself. Even if an enemy tries to kill him before he was born, still nothing will happen to him, but Seal simply rewinds and negates the event. He resists the effects of time stop, reality warping, and fate erasure, and plots and stories erasure, all of which work on normal gods and demon lords. The manas, Seal can undo any outcome and create infinite possibilities in real time. He's not just beyond death, he's beyond logic and event chains, and plots and stories itself don't work on him. Rimuru possesses infinite creation-destruction ability. By the end of the web novel, and even more in the light novel, Rimuru can create and destroy infinite multiverses without even using 1% of his powers, can make infinite clones, each capable of destroying an infinite multiverse, controls energy from the void turn null, which is said to be the origin of all creation. Seal in Volume 21 said to Rimuru that Rimuru create and destroy infinite multiverse and infinite cardinal multiverse without even using 1% of his powers. Rimuru absorbs powers from multiple outerversal level characters, like Veldanava, the creator god, and Chloe, who manipulate time and higher reality. His destructive and creative power is literally beyond infinite. Rimuru Void, energy turn null, the raw source of all creation. Rimuru Azathoth is not just powerful, it gives Rimuru control over the laws of existence and realities itself. Rimuru operates beyond the infinite multiverse and transcends concepts. Rimuru is described as someone who can recreate and overwrite the entire system of existence, including concepts like life, death, time, space, good, evil, plots, stories, etc. He becomes equal or greater than Veldanava, the god who created the entire infinite multiverse and wrote its laws. Rimuru, in his final form, is no longer bound by tiering systems. He exists above them. Unrankable, light novel and web novel Rimuru is considered Tier 0, boundless by many power scalers because he operates outside all structures of reality, including space, time, logic, and fate, plots, and stories. He controls infinite multiverses and can rewrite existence on a conceptual level or even beyond that. His core essence becomes pure information, handled by a divine being Seal that can override any possibility and control infinite plots and stories. He's not just powerful, he's unbound by what power. Rimuru Tempest, the Supreme Being. In the final volumes, Rimuru becomes the only being to completely surpass Veldanava, the creator god. He can recreate the entire cosmology an infinite number of times, generate exact duplicates of every being, including Milim, Chloe, Guy, and even Veldanava himself. Use powers like infinite multiversal creation infinite times without even using 1% of his powers. Omnipresent existence. All law, authority, control. Rimuru surpasses Veldanava, the original creator god. He creates infinite multiverses and recreates the entire cosmology of Tensura Infinite. Times exists beyond concepts, beyond dimensions, beyond existence itself, can generate perfect duplicates of all creation, including Milam. Guy Chloe Veldanava with a single thought, has no limitation. No one in Tensura's cosmology can rival him. Means overall Rimuru Tempest from light novel and web novel is beyond Tier 0 boundless level. Rimuru transcends even himself, infinitely within 0 seconds. This statement is not symbolic. It is a literal metaphysical description of Rimuru's new state of being after reaching the void beyond all. Rimuru continuously surpasses his previous self, not once, not 1,000 times, but infinitely, without pause or ends. He's not evolving linearly or even exponentially. He's infinitely upgrading in every moment. This means it's not happening in time at all. It's not just fast, it's happening in a state where time doesn't exist. Therefore, it is a timeless infinite transcendence loop. This places Rimuru in a realm of pure causality, no progression or sequencing, no before or after, just pure existence beyond causality, evolution, and even growth itself. Rimuru is now self-transcending in a non-temporal meta-loop. His evolution is not restricted by any story, logic, training, or event. Seal his skill being enables this permanent hyper-transcendence. There is no upper limit each moment. Rimuru becomes something that previously did not even exist in concept. Even the idea of Rimuru is instantly outdated. This feat alone places Rimuru at the absolute top of Tier 0. Even if you brought another boundless being to fight him, that Rimuru would already have transcended into something stronger before the battle even starts. And again, infinitely, before the next moment happens. Rimuru transcends even himself. Infinitely within 0 seconds means he evolves beyond every possible version of himself. It occurs instantly in a timeless state. It never ends. There is no peak Rimuru, only a boundless evolving with. No one can truly reach or match him because he has already become infinitely more. Rimuru's imaginary space is so boundless that even if he creates infinite multiverses and every creation in Tensura, it would still not be filled. What does this mean conceptually? This isn't just hyperbole or poetic narration. It's a literal metaphysical description of Rimuru's upgraded imaginary space. After his transcendence in the void end of everything, it directly confirms truly boundless internal reality. His inner space, imaginary space, is not just large, it is unquantifiably infinite. Not infinite in a countable sense like, but transcendental infinity, an inner void so vast that, even recreating the entire cosmology of Tensura, with infinite multiverses, gods, souls, narratives, and causal timelines, still wouldn't occupy even a portion of it. This is the definition of beyond-dimensional infinite, true boundlessness, self-contained, omniversal authority. Rimuru no longer needs external space-time to create or act. His entire cosmology can now exist inside him, with no limit. Meaning, he can create infinite timelines, infinite multiverse, infinite times, infinite higher worlds, infinite conceptual laws, infinite stories, and still have limitless or infinite room left. This makes him a being who contains all potential and non-potential realities and more within himself, creating infinite multiverses, already high outerversal, and still not be filled. Rimuru is now above even infinite cosmological layers. He becomes the framework that houses realities, like an axiom or narrative singularity. This is well beyond the feat sets of beings like Featherine, who operates within story hierarchies, the one above all who governs multiverse but doesn't embody it. Even Veldanava, who created the original system but couldn't exist without it. Imaginary space, not a dimension, now a metacosmic plane. Storage capacity contains infinite realities plus more. Rimuru's status becomes the medium of all possible existence. Scaling tier boundless tier 0 plus. Limitations none, no limit to creation. Thought, time, law, or narrative. Cosmological rank above all gods. All systems, even story logic itself. Featherine can rewrite stories using the logic of her layer. Rimuru contains all layers, all stories, and can create infinite more without limits. So yes, this quote is one of the clearest canonical confirmations of Rimuru being not just tier 0, but a meta-existential singularity, a being beyond the narrative logic of Tensura and possibly beyond the boundaries of fiction itself. At the end of the Tensura web novel, after achieving transcendental godhood, Rimuru returns to his original Earth, the world he was reincarnated from. He meets Fuse, the author avatar, a writer in universe. Rimuru tells his entire story to Fuse. Then Fuse writes the story of Tensura based on Rimuru's words. This is the exact reversal of the usual god-writer structure. Rimuru is not created by Fuse. Fuse becomes the storyteller after Rimuru lives the story. That means Rimuru's story existed before the author wrote it. Even the one above all, Toa, in Marvel is often seen as Stan Lee's avatar, meaning it is based on the real-life writer. But Rimuru goes beyond the writer, gives the story to the author, and exists in a space before and outside even the written world. That puts Rimuru at a hyper-metafictional level, or what some call transcendent author level, above the traditional tier 0 ceiling. Rimuru web novel ending proves he is above his own creator, making him superior to all writer avatars like Toa, the presence, Featherine, and even the authors of their own worlds. This places him at the very top of all fictional power scaling, with no equal in any narrative-based structure. Veldanava created the entire cosmology. He used turn null, pure imaginary collapse energy. Created infinite universes, infinite multiverses, infinite dimensions, even the cardinal world, which transcends all logic and system law. But Veldanava only built the structure. He didn't define the story. He left the system to run on its own via the voice of the world. Rimuru inherited Veldanava's position and went beyond. Rimuru surpasses all creation, transcends time, recreates the entire cosmology infinite times, and ultimately returns to his original world and gives the story to the author Fuse. This proves the entire cosmology already existed. The story is written only after the full cycle of creation, war, reset, and godhood. This places Rimuru and Veldanava in a position where they are not characters created by the story. The story is written after they live it. Creation came first. Veldanava and Rimuru built and lived through it. Then the story was written by Fuse, after Rimuru returned to Earth and told him everything. Rimuru and Veldanava exist at a level of fiction beyond the narrative, even beyond the writer. They are not products of fiction. Fiction is a product of them. This is a philosophical boundless state where Rimuru is beyond dimensionality, beyond narratives, beyond authorship, the origin of the story that later becomes the Tensura light novel. Veldanava and Rimuru created the entire cosmology first, and only after everything happened, the author wrote it down. This makes Rimuru a transcendent source being, someone even the writer depends on to tell the story.